What's up, love bugs? It's your girl, Jordan, heading back with another episode of Big Girl Diaries. And if you're new to this podcast, I created Big Girl Diaries about a year ago. This podcast is about health and wellness, and it caters to the Gen Z and millennial experience. And today, want to talk about understanding and overcoming imposter syndrome. Now, I have took a little break, but now I'm back like I never left. I hope y'all are still there. I hope y'all are still alive. And I just want to go over what imposter syndrome is. Imposter syndrome is the feeling that you don't deserve your achievements or success, or that you are a fraud. You will be eventually found out. And it often affects people that are high achievers, individuals that doubt their skills and qualifications or talent despite the hard work or their evidence. People with imposter syndrome sometimes feel like they can be held back from their accomplishments or taking on new tasks. And well, when I'm in college, and people that are in college, we are eventually going to be most of us, hopefully most of us, are going to be people who are in high places, who have very rewarding careers, and like nurses, lawyers, doctors, people in computer science, people in high achieving careers are in college right now. And sometimes when you are getting on, like when you're a freshman, it's like, okay, I'm just now, I'm still experiencing college. But once you become like a junior, once you become a senior, and once you become like in these like high positions, is kind of, or these high, or you move up in your like school, it's kind of hard to, sometimes people experience imposter syndrome where they just feel like it's not enough room for them, where they feel like they can't take up space. And imposter syndrome is very, it's natural. Like, I feel a lot of high achieving people have once experienced imposter syndrome. And one time, I want to talk about the time that I've experienced imposter syndrome. I experienced imposter syndrome all the time. Like, for example, when I started college, I did not feel like I was meant to be there. Like, I didn't have the best grades. I didn't feel like I was smart enough. I didn't feel like I could afford to be there. I didn't feel like I was capable of, going into my junior year or going into my senior year. And it was hard for me because over the years, I just was just feeling like, wow, is this really the place? Like, am I really here right now? Like, that's what I was feeling. And to get over imposter syndrome, I just feel like you have to take up space. Like, taking up space means that you are there, you're here as your authentic self, and can't nobody take that away from you. And I just want to do a disclaimer. If y'all hear me cough a couple times, I am so sorry, y'all. Like, it's something in the air. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm trying not to cough, y'all. I'm trying not to cough, but see, it came out. I'm sorry. But back to the topic. Imposter syndrome is, I feel like it can be really hard, because when you feel like you're the only person in the room that's your color, or I can tell y'all a time where, okay, so I had a job at a restaurant, right? And I was the only woman of color at this job, and I definitely felt some type of imposter syndrome, because I'm like, wow, like, this is tough. Like, do they not want to hire women of color? Do they not want to hire people of color? Or do people of color don't want to work here? And when I got love from the black customers who saw me and gave me the energy that I was looking for, I started to feel more okay and more comfortable at being at the job. I unfortunately don't work there no more, but hopefully in the future there are more black employees whom are there. And imposter syndrome, I feel like it really affects people who are overachievers, and it's nothing wrong being overachiever. Like I strive to be an overachiever one day. And when it comes to most people, it's funny because most people who are, very successful there, and I'm going to talk about people who I like see every day, which is like people on my campus. So basically, people who are in organizations, they are the leaders within their friend groups, they are doing big things. They are the ones that feel like they have imposter syndrome, and you'll be so surprised because you're like, sorry y'all with the cough again. Those are the people that will feel the most imposter syndrome. The ones that are really like up there. Like you see them everywhere. You know what they doing. Like they really, and it's funny because you would think that like it's people that, that are kind of like in their own little shell, but no, these people that have the most imposter syndrome are the people who are doing big things. And I just want to tell y'all right now that you are worthy, friend. You are worthy to be in the position that you are in. You are worthy to be you are worthy of your accomplishments, and you are qualified. Like you walking into the door is you being qualified. You just showing up means that you're qualified. Like you being there, that what makes you qualified. You don't have to prove how qualified you are. You don't have to overcompensate, because I feel like a lot of young black professionals, we feel like we gotta work twice as hard. We gotta prove ourselves. And it's like, no, like you are worthy, friend. And I feel like to improve imposter syndrome or to overcome it is to build your confidence, because at the end of the day, when you feel confident, you're going to feel like you're worthy of your accomplishment. You're going to feel like you're worthy of all the work that you put in, because you didn't do that for free, baby. All them late nights, all those times that you cried, all the times that you felt like you wouldn't overcome this, and this is where you are. I'm not saying that people with imposter syndrome is just for people that are overachievers. People that anybody and everybody can feel imposter syndrome. It doesn't matter who or what you are or what. Sometimes I have imposter syndrome even before I apply for the job, even before I apply for the position, even before I get into the club, or even before I even give myself an opportunity to do anything. And I want to work on myself as far as, even though I don't get this job, I feel like my thing is I feel imposter syndrome before I even qualify. Like, and it's like, girl, like, and as me personally, I want to work on letting things, it's okay for people to say no. It's okay for some doors not to be open. It's okay for things not to work out. And honestly, I be feeling like I be feeling like I'm not worthy even before I'm even where I'm supposed to be. And it's okay to be told no, but that doesn't mean you're any less than. That doesn't mean that you are not worthy, basically. And to build your confidence around imposter syndrome and to get over that, you just have to do it. Like, just do it like Nike, okay? Just do it like Nike. Like, it don't matter if it seems cringy. It doesn't matter if it seems like it's crazy or out of this world. If God is putting something on your heart and on your spirit to do, you must do it. Like, even with my podcast, like, I have been on a long break from my podcast, and I just honestly been feeling like I don't really have nothing to talk about. But now look at me, I'm back and I'm better, baby. And that's the energy that you have to have. Like, life is about falling down and getting back up. And that's the same energy you have to have with imposter syndrome. Like, I have this quote that I want y'all to see. Be you and let the world adjust. So basically, this means that put your content out there. Do what you want to do. Put yourself out there, and the world will ride your wave. The people that are for you will ride your wave, and the people that aren't, they just aren't. And it's okay. It's okay not to be for everybody, but that shouldn't keep you from feeling like you aren't supposed to be there. You never know. You being in a room will open up for everybody else who wants to be in the same room as you. You never know how your presence can affect somebody, or how what you're doing can affect somebody else. And when it comes to imposter syndrome, you just have to think like, what will my future self do? Like, if I was looking at that person, that therapist I want to be, or that doctor I want to be, or that nurse, would I become that person if I'm just if I'm entertaining this idea that I'm not worthy, I'm not supposed to be here? No. Your future doctor self would not, or your future nurse self would not entertain the idea that I'm not supposed to be here. You are there because you deserve a seat at the table, baby. You deserve a seat at the table, and that's all that's to it. And sometimes it's a challenge to overcome imposter syndrome, because it just be so deep. But honestly, you have to build your confidence, and you have to tell yourself that you are worthy of everything that God has for you, baby. Your imposter syndrome is not going to stop what God has for you. And in order to do what you have to do, you have to just get over it. Like, I don't know what else to really like break it down to. Like, in order to get over it, you have to just convince yourself, like trick yourself. Like, literally, you have to trick yourself. Like you have to be kind of delusional a little bit. Like, if you gotta be delusional, then sorry. If you have to be delusional, then be delusional then. Like, if you have to fake it till you make it, fake it until you make it, baby. Like, but I just feel like as young Black professionals, or for just ordinary, not ordinary, because I don't really feel like nobody's ordinary, but for people that just feel like they don't belong somewhere, that's exactly why you should do it, because you do belong. And you never know who's gonna see you. You never know who light you're going to inspire. You never know. And imposter syndrome, I feel like it happens to everybody. Like, if you have imposter syndrome, that's really a good sign that you doing something good, that you are on the journey. And don't let fear and don't let unworthiness control you. Like, you think about why you're doing this. Think about why did you start doing this, and think about the people who you are going to impact. Think about the people that you are going to inspire with whatever you're chasing in life. And don't let, like, for example, for me being the only Black woman at the job, I did not let that stop me. I went into that job and I did it just as well as everybody else who was at that job. And then next thing I know, they got another Black worker working there, and it's like, what? It's like, wow, like, I really inspired that. Like, I really started something, and that can be the same for you. Like, don't let nobody make you feel like you don't belong. And I feel like it comes from people background also. When you feel like when you come from a background where people tell you that you can't do it, or you just came from somewhere that they really didn't motivate you really, or they didn't really inspire you to do what you want to do, that's where imposter syndrome comes from. And honestly, you just have to use that as fuel. Use that as the fire that, like, use it as, like, you know how when they say that, like, girls, when they get out of a relationship, they be on their revenge type. And that's the same energy you gotta have with imposter syndrome. Like, just because you told me no, I'm gonna give you 10 reasons why yes. And that's the energy that you have to have. And going into the field, going into like career and becoming a young professional, it is not easy. You're going to be around a lot of people who are older than you. They look different than you. They have higher statuses than you. And you're going to have to look them people in the face and show them that, yeah, I belong here and I'm not going nowhere. And I feel like as Gen Z and the millennials who are now getting to the workforce and who are now building up our careers and starting to, break into the corporate world, into the world period, it's really hard not to feel like we have to prove something. It's really hard just to feel like that we can't just be ourselves, because we are surrounded by people, like I said, who are higher than us, who are more qualified than us. But we have to let them know that we are not no dummies. We are not no pushovers, and we are here to stay. And that's the same energy that you have to have with imposter syndrome, because when you go out into the world, they already go doubt you. They already go look at you and be like, who this person think they is? And if you have that same energy towards yourself, then it's a lose-lose, baby. It's a lose-lose. And I just want to say that you don't have to prove nothing to nobody, because other people really don't matter. It's all about you. If you walk into a space with your head held high and ready to learn, ready to grow, ready to take over, who go stop you? And to get over imposter syndrome, you just have to feel that with self-love, with confidence, with worthiness. What helps me feel like I'm worthy is every day I talk about what I'm thankful for. Every day I speak about what I'm thankful for. And that really inspires me to get up and keep going. I challenge y'all for a week to every day when you get up in the morning, say out loud 10 things you are grateful for. I don't care if you grateful for having clean water. It don't matter. Like, it don't have to be nothing over the top. It don't have to be nothing exciting. Whatever you are thankful for, speak it out loud. And that is how you can overcome imposter syndrome. And take up space, baby. Take up space. Do not apologize for taking up space, and do not apologize for the gifts that God gave you. In Jesus' name, I be listening to this lady, My Mental Health World, and I love that lady. She's such a strong woman, and she be like, in Jesus' name, and I just be saying it, and it just be so funny. And I just want to say that your 20s is not easy. Like, this might be a little off topic, but your 20s is not easy. It's going to be filled with a lot of ups, downs, around the corners, and your head going to be spinning for a long time when you in your 20s. But everything doesn't have to be perfect. Everything doesn't have to go right, because I apologize for the coughing. If it gets on you guys' nerves, I am so sorry. I might not cut out the coughing, so if you hear it, I apologize. But anywho, Your 20s is going to be filled with a lot of ups and downs. It's going to be filled with a lot of yeses. It's going to be filled with a lot of no's more than it's going to be filled with yeses. But you still got to get up and you still got to show these people what you made of, honey. You got to show these people what you made of. And I just want to say F imposter syndrome. You rock. You got this. And you can do anything that you put your mind to. And this is the end of the episode, love bugs. I hope you learned something. I hope you have overcome your imposter syndrome. And doing this podcast has helped me overcome my imposter syndrome also. I love you, love bug. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Bye.